Welcome to Matters Financial and Geopolitical from a Frontier. Thank you for stopping by. Sub-Saharan Africa, Masque Portrait Ancien Congo Yombe, RDC Zaire, African info. Caught my attention. Congo leader blocks Senate inaugurations after alleged graft. Supporters of Tshisekedi's Union for Democracy and Social Progress, or UDPS, protested the results in several cities at the weekend, vandalizing some offices of Kabila's party. Their anger is most intense in Kinshasa, where the UDPS didn't win any of the 8 senatorial seats on offer, despite controlling a quarter of the local assembly. Tshisekedi's camp is conscious that the FCC has a majority in parliament, so we aren't surprised if the Senate will be controlled by them. What we denounce is that our parliamentarians, who are supposed to support the president in the fight against corruption, have accepted money in order to be corrupted, which is a plot twist. 7th of January, I wrote about why the DR Congo was delaying election results. I quoted V.S. Naipaul, a bend in the river. It isn't that there's no right and wrong here, there's no right. And then 21st of January, I was writing about Congo as well, and the declaration of Felix Antoine Tshisekedi Tshilombo as the president. For Africa, Chinese-built Huawei internet is better than no internet at all, says foreign policy. Huawei has built about 70% of the continent's 4G networks, vastly outpacing European rivals, according to Cobus van Staden, a senior China-Africa researcher at the South African Institute of International Affairs. The construction is often accompanied by loans from Chinese state banks, which are approved faster and with fewer conditions than loans from international institutions. At least for the time being, Africa doesn't have any other cost or competency alternatives, said Howard French, who teaches at the Columbia School of Journalism and has been the New York Times bureau chief in West and Central Africa and in China. And I wrote about this previously, 10th of December, when I said an important market for Huawei has been Africa. In fact, I said, Huawei is the bloodstream of Africa's telecom infrastructure and is ubiquitous. I said, how this plays out with Huawei in Africa is now an above-the-radar issue. African deals show emerging market bulls easily outnumber bears. Benin and Ghana issued $3.6 billion worth of bonds on Tuesday, and demand was sky high. For Benin, an economy of barely $10 billion that's rated 4 steps into junk, the sale was the first foray into the market. Ghana was even more impressive, with investors looking past its volatile currency and in fact put in orders for $20 billion. Would you believe? That's back to good times, Le Chic. And I wrote, this was my trade of the year actually at the beginning of the year, 31st of December. I said, I like 30-year maturity African Eurobond paper. Double-digit yields will be difficult to resist, I said. And I suggested you might consider putting together a portfolio and leveraging it 50%. Had you done that, you'd be up 20% year to date. The 28th of January, I was talking about the downshifting of the US interest rate curve, and that this in turn had boosted frontier and emerging market sovereign bond prices and lowered yields. Ghana's $3 billion issue means the African Eurobond space has reached $100 billion outstanding. South African all-share up 6.46% this year. Dollar versus Rand. The Rand will run out of steam as early as today and will go back to 1440. Nigerian all-share down 1.24%. Ghana Stock Exchange down 3.93% year to date. Coming to Kenya, we've had a series of earnings. Cooperative Bank, which is market cap is 88.3 billion shillings. Reported full-year earnings per share was up 9.548%. Total assets expanded 6.864%. Loans and advances to customers declined 3.329%, with the exception of Standard Bank. This has been the case across the board. Loan loss provision, they cut its loan loss provision by half to 1.84 billion, even as non-performing loans rose by 56.7%. Other operating expenses up 1.44%, profit before tax up 10.554%, profit after tax up 11.639%, EPS up 9.548%, dividend, this everyone will like, up 25%. Total assets plus 6.864 was marginally above trend. Trailing P ratio of 6.9 leaves room to the upside. Diamond Trust reported full year earnings per share was up 0.759%. Loans and advances to customers net was down 1.517%. Total assets up 3.968%. Profit before tax up 8.731%. Profit after tax up 2.268%. Earnings per share was up 0.59%. Dividend unchanged. They retain 89.125% of their full year earnings per share. They took a defensive posture in full year 2018 with loans and advances declining by 1.517%. They've been trying to keep some negative news regarding this Ducid attack under wraps successfully so far. NIC Bank reported full year earnings per share declined 7.253%. Loans and advances to customers down 1.41%. Profit before tax up 3.96%. Profit after tax up 2.026%. EPS down 7.253%. Look, these were solid results in a difficult Tier 2 banking world, which they have now escaped via the reverse merger with CBA. A lot of people are looking at CBA in the context of Kenya, but I think they've got a very interesting geographical extension going on, which is currently not valued into that merged entity. Worst performing stocks in 2019, Kenya Airways down 38.2%, Uchumi 26.3%, Home Africa 25.7%, Liberty 21.3%, WPP 20.7%. And I couldn't resist this for the final sign-off. Shame as Kenya prisons taken prisoners in Egypt. Kenya prisons basketball team, I think. But it sounded good. Thank you for stopping by.